Alright, got the Explorer in the garage here. Got her jacked up to where the axle will go to full droop without the tires touching the ground. See, my tires are getting pretty nasty. A little bit of tread on them, but it's not much. But they're wearing evenly now, so that's good. I've been kind of tweaking the steering alignment as I drive it, but the steering's so soft on it, it's hard to tell if your steering alignment's good or not. So, small car, one car garage problems. Did a 5-speed swap of this thing in here, so. Don't believe me, go watch the videos. Look, there's a 5-speed in there somewhere. That's where I got the jacks resting. I got the e-brake on and it's in gear. So, yeah. I know later down the road I'm gonna get new links, new bushings. I'm thinking about doing, oh never mind, I'll save it for later. I want to check. I don't know if I can get it to do it now. Of course, this is really hard to do with one hand. See, look at that. That little bit right there while you're driving will change your steering alignment all the time. I can't really test this one, but you know, with all that oil there, I bet you that one's squishy as hell too. So the plan is to get this bolt out, and then we're gonna put a giant pry bar in between the cross member and the beam and see if we can get it to droop down. I want to do this without taking any of the springs out, or so right now it's only partially loaded. It could come down a little bit more if you take the shock out. I may do that, just undo the top of the shock and drop it down, but I'm really not wanting to do that right now. So I want to say we're 17 and maybe a 19 up here. I'm going to find the tools I need for that and get started loosening this up. I'm going to try and do this with mostly hand tools. Won't use the air gun until a little bit later when we need to pound that out. I'm hoping I don't have to take the whole beam out. That's a lot of work. Especially because this is 4-wheel drive. If it was 2-wheel drive, I'd be all for pulling it out and doing it the easier way, but more time-consuming way. So I'm gonna get busy with that and see if we can get that bolt out of there. Alright, tubes. I got a little bit of a sinus thing going on. Slowly clearing out, actually. I just got the scratchy voice thing going on. Alright guys, so I've already assembled one bushing here. And we're just gonna send it in as is. However, I wanted to show you how to set these up. They are a little difficult in that they are very stiff. And also I'm gonna go get some gloves. So in this kit, this is the 4.3133 for the Ford Explorer. This one comes with a new shell. I believe the TTB setups for the trucks, you just take the rubber out and clear all that out, and then you put in the new stuff that they supply with you. I will say, what I really like after putting this together, the material they use is very stiff. It's very firm. It has very little give, so I think this is really gonna fix the steering on this thing, because right now, or before we took everything apart, as you can see, the bushings that are in there, they're so oil saturated and very soft and squishy, and the steering is very soft, and I'm hoping that this will fix that. So the way this thing goes together, I'll go ahead and lay this out so I can kind of protect my table a little bit. They supply you with a tub of goo, and this stuff is like really nasty. This guy here, the little black one, this is the centerpiece. This one is very stiff. I can barely compress it. They made this really stiff, so to keep it from moving around too much. And then on these, they're a little bit softer, so that the axle can actually pivot on these. These can actually compress. it's all said and done and put together, it's still pretty firm. So hopefully this doesn't fall apart. So we're gonna get a little bit of splooge here and just coat the inside of the shell here. You definitely want to have lube on these because, oh no you don't. They can get, polyurethane against metal can get pretty squeaky. So now, so you got that one in there, and then you got this. This has the lip on it. This is gonna go against that lip. They gave you quite a bit. I might actually be able to use this for something else later on. This kit I got at Napa Auto Parts for, what did it run me, 35 bucks? Squish that down in there. Flip her around. We got a bunch of excess lube here we can take and put on this guy here. Now this one has this step right here. The thicker part you want to put face down into the shell, and then this thinner part sticks out. So then what you want to do is also make sure that you coat the back side of this, because this is also potentially going to rub up against the other piece, and you don't want those squeaking and fighting each other and wearing into each other and who knows what else. Now this one was, I probably could have put this one in first actually, but since we have so much lube there, it doesn't matter. And now we can take the pin, we're going to coat this one really well. And then when we assemble all this, we're going to make sure that this edge of the pin, the faces, are clean and oil free, because you want this to be dry, no oil in between, and torque down to 1,000,000 foot-pounds so that this thing does not move around, because if it moves around it'll wear into the metal and then you're done. So this would probably be easier with a press, or you don't need a press, but put it on the vise. But that's good to go. Yeah. Okay. Now you're left with these. These go on last. I believe these just go, the way it shows here is going to be about here. So I think this just goes between the I-beam and the bracket that it mounts into. So also fairly easily with the impact gun. Use the 18 on the head. And this, I think this is a 20, because a 19 won't fit, and a 7/8 is really loose. So, but I was able to knock that out. Now what I would like to see is if I can, the beam went up a little bit, but I want to see if I can pry down on it. Okay, this is going to be difficult with the steering in the way. I hope I don't have to take that out. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh yeah. I think we can work with this. You know the shitty thing is that I'm gonna have to pull the beam, because how the hell am I gonna get the tool in there? Can I? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, kids. Alright guys, slight change of plans. So I found out these shells here are the same dimensions as the factory ones. So what I did is took all the contents out of here. First of all, I took some sandpaper and sanded down. Actually, let me back up a little bit. I used my ball joint press just the C part and the actual threaded bit, and push this center pin out. The pin. And then this actually came out pretty easy. I just used a flat blade screwdriver to kind of wiggle it out, and she came out. And then started putting the stuff in here, and I've almost got that in. It's a little tight. It's just as tight as it is in those shells. So I'm just working that in, and I of course got it greased up and everything. And then we're gonna take this part here. Concave part faces the back of that bracket there, and it kind of just, I think that's what I'm going to do. That's the easiest way. So I'll try and show you the other side. It's a little difficult because I don't have my camera person here. I was going to wait until I had a camera person. It's funny, that's dropped down about, what, 2-3 inches, and it's almost the camera's not all messed up. It's definitely towed in quite a bit. This would look kind of cool with a lift. Put a taller spring in it. I don't know. I don't want to mess with it though. Don't want to mess with it. I like it the way it is. Anyways, let me get that put back together and see if I can get the beam back in the slot there. All right. I got this tightened down. Since these are lubricated and not bonded to the metal, I went ahead and just torqued this out anyways, because that'll all kind of move with inside of itself since it's lubricated, so I'm not too worried about that. If it were the rubber, I would wait till the vehicle's on the ground and the suspension's relaxed and in a natural state, and then go ahead and tighten that down. In this case, I just took the nut loose up here. I'm just going to kind of run that bolt out of there. I might get in here with a pry bar and actually put some pressure on the axle, because there's just a hair bit of tension on it. Actually, the bolt's starting to come out. So I'm going to do that, get this down, and it looks like it's going to be a little tight right here, getting this all in here. But because the lip is right here, so we got all this crap in the way. So what I'm going to try and do is get that pin out of there somehow, and then I may have to just go the other way, get the pin out, and then once that's out I can peel this rubber out with a flathead screwdriver, and then everything else can just go back in. So let's give that a shot and see what happens.